Welcome to January's ICAAR update. I'm your host and 2026 ICAAR president, Jared Ruth. I'm joined with Megan Flewellyn, our CEO here at ICAAR. Today, we will be covering our updated property disclosure statement on the residential side. We'll be covering upcoming events like our YPN panel, State Capitol Conference, volunteer opportunities, and much more. Let's get into it. Okay, so first off, we have some updates to our residential property disclosure statement, specifically regarding lead service lines. What do our members need to know?
Yes, there was a new law that went into effect for Iowa, January 1, 2026. So as of that date, all properties that are being sold need to have within a property disclosure statement a piece that references if there's a known lead water service line associated with the property. So if you have any active or pending properties right now or after January 1, and you had your client fill out a previous version of a seller disclosure statement, you're going to want to go in, download the updated ICAAR form, and have your client fill out the updated version so that they can acknowledge whether or not they know about the lead service lines.
Good to know. And we've sent out the PDFs, but they're also available. Where could members find this updated disclosure?
Yes, ICAAR's updated version is now available on Form Simplicity. I believe the State Association's version of their disclosure statement is also available on Form Simplicity. And like you said, ICAAR did email out a PDF version if worst case you're having a hard time getting logged in.
And like you said, as of Jan 1, all sellers need to be compliant with this. So make sure you're checking with your current sellers and within your office and making sure everybody has that. All sellers on the residential side have that completed.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have a new feature in the ability to do a suspicious activity report. What do members need to know about that?
Yes. So this is a response to kind of last year we were seeing an increase in land fraud, lot scams, things like that. So this is ICAAR's response to it. We now have a suspicious activity report. What that is, it's a spreadsheet where we are tracking any known properties that have had suspicious activity or we do know have been attempted to be fraudulently sold. And so that is now a spreadsheet available for all members. You guys can head to icaar.org or check your email inbox and you can see that report anytime. And you'll also see that we have an intake form. So if you yourself have experienced a suspicious activity within a transaction, or if you did catch potential fraud, please go ahead and fill out a report with us at ICAAR, and then we can add that to the spreadsheet so that all of your other colleagues know, hey, probably something going on with this property.
What types of real estate fraud are we looking for? What's the most common thing that we're seeing with members and properties?
Yeah, it's been a growing trend for sure here in Iowa, and where we really see issues are lots. So empty lots, vacant land, and then also properties where the homeowner resides out of state or maybe a property where it is owned by an estate. Those are the common ones. And what we're finding is when a property is targeted once, it is typically targeted many times. So even if you were contacted, you realized it was fraud and you walked away, that scammer is probably now going to reach out to 2, 3, 4 more realtors to attempt the same process.
And if it doesn't sound right, likely it is not right. So a lot of members get those text messages, get those calls, or get those emails. If you guys aren't sure, make sure you cross-reference that list and see if maybe somebody else has reported a similar case. I had a similar situation on a property that had been flagged a few times by other members of similar calls or similar activity. So it was a great resource to be able to kind of look in and be like, okay, same type of message, same type of correspondence, something that we can keep an eye out on to protect us as members, but also protect the consumers and the homeowners out there.
Yep.
So if you feel like you or maybe your client has been a victim of some of this fraud, or potentially just something seems off within this inquiry, please report it. You can find that intake form on our website, or you can reach out to ICAAR staff to get that process started. Moving on to my favorite section within our podcast is Realtors in the Community. We always have a lot of things going on, a lot of opportunities for people to volunteer. Specifically, we need food volunteers for this next 1105 project.
Yes. So our next date with the Iowa City Free Lunch Program is going to be this month, January 29th. Thank you to everybody that signed up to be a Day of Rockstar volunteer. fantastic. We're all filled out there. But just like you said, we do still need some food donations. So if you're got, an extra 20 minutes and a few bucks, please sign up and you can just select, yes, I will bring the lettuce. You buy the lettuce, you drop it off at the free lunch program that day.
And that next free lunch program is Thursday, January 29th. Find us on the website. So if members are looking for something to do and be involved in the community, this is a great opportunity for them to do so. What's your favorite part about the 1105 project?
Oh my gosh, that we have so many members that are repeat volunteers every time. And yet in the same vein, we have new faces every single time and everyone has a great time. We get so many smiling photos, but it just seems like a great balance of tried and true members that are always there, love this event. And every time we're also able to bring in new faces. So if you've never done it before, be our new face this month.
Okay, so we have some exciting events coming up here in this 2026, beginning of the new year. We have the annual Top Producer Panel. This has been going on for about 6-7 years. I always learn a lot from it, regardless of whether you're a new to the business agent or an experienced agent. There's always some really good takeaways. So what do members need to know about the Top Producer Panel?
Yes, first YPN event of the year is here. This year's Top Producer Panel is sponsored by Hills Bank. So we will have our event at the Hills Bank in North Liberty. We've got a panel of 4 top producers. If you've never attended, it's kind of set up lunch and learn style. So doors will open at 11:30. We've got lunch available. And then the actual program will begin at noon. And it's a 1-hour panel with a handful of ICAAR's top producing agents. And it's Q&A style. You guys can just kind of pick their brains, ask questions, things like that.
And we have our panelists locked in. If members would like to go see who that's going to be, please visit the sign-up sheet at ICAAR.org. And this takes place on Tuesday, February 24th. That's my birthday. I'll be there. It starts at 11:30, but that's kind of registration. And then the actual program will begin at noon.
Yes, make sure you're there by noon. There is 1 hour of CE associated with it. It is free CE. So no reason not to come.
Great. Come see the panelists, come see your fellow ICAAR members and our affiliates at Hills Bank.
See you there.
We also have the Iowa Realtors Capitol Conference coming up February 3rd through the 5th. What do we need to know about that?
Yes, registration is open for Capitol Conference. Would love to see as many ICAAR members there as possible. The big day is that Hill Visit Day. So if you're only able to attend one day, make it February 4th, Hill Visit Day. That's the day we have a legislative luncheon starting at noon. And then everybody walks over to the Capitol. We're able to meet with legislators, talk about our legislative priorities for the year. Then we head back to where we had lunch and there's an evening reception, again, with those legislators invited to mix and mingle a little bit further. So
great. And it's a great opportunity for members across the state to not only advocate, but also stay involved in legislative priorities. There's a big component of education to this year's Capitol Conference and plenty of opportunities for members to attend some classes. What are some of the offerings outside of the Capitol Legislative Day that are being offered?
Yes. So it is a 3-day conference. So if you come in on that Tuesday, there are several different classes available at the Iowa Realtors office. So whether that's professional standards training, if you've ever been interested in getting involved in the grievance and pro standards process, that's kind of a precursor. But they also have several education options, things about laws and upcoming legal regulations, things like that you guys need to know. I think there's even a couple like business planning and business centric courses available. So whether you're coming Tuesday for education or an RPAC fun night that evening, staying for Wednesday, the Hill visits, or even staying Thursday when it's more of their governance meetings and board of director meetings, but good stuff all across the week.
And if you can't make the 3 days, the day to come is February 4th. Everything's happening then. We'd love to see you all there and learn about our legislative priorities here in the 2026 year.
So to sign up, head to iowarealtors.com and Jared and I will see you there.
So the Capitol Conference leads nicely into the Iowa Realtors weekly legislative calls. These are every Monday, 9:30 a.m. via Zoom, so you don't have to attend physically. It's a great way to hop on. What are people learning? What's going on during these weekly legislative calls?
Yes. So this is all session long. The state association's committee that monitors the legislative priorities, they're meeting every single week. So what they allow all realtors across the state is ahead of their weekly meetings, you can hop onto Zoom. It's webinar style, so your face isn't there. You're not participating. You can just kind of listen in. But they're going to give a weekly update every single week following the legislative session on here's what's going on with all of the bills, whether they are the bills that we are sponsoring and pushing forward, if they are bills that we are advocating against from other entities. Maybe it's a bill that another entity put forward that we don't know where we stand on it, but we know it affects real estate. And so we know we want to keep up to date with the progress of it throughout session. So every single Monday at 9:30 throughout the legislative session, Iowa Realtors is hosting these legislative weekly calls. Highly encourage realtors to register for them and listen in each week just so you can kind of follow along.
And while you're signing up for Capitol Conference, you can also register for this Zoom call. And once you're registered once, you're good? Or do you need to log in each time?
Register one time and you will get the calendar invites all ready for you for all of the weekly calls throughout session.
The state makes it really easy for us, and it's really informative. It's great to know that we have representation up there at the Capitol monitoring everything. So stay engaged, learn from what the state is doing up there at the Capitol. 2026 is upon us, and we have a lot going on here at ICAAR and at the state. Make sure you're keeping track of all of ICAAR's upcoming events, classes, and important information online at icaar.org. Go sign up and donate food for the 1105 project on 129. Register for the Capitol Conference February 3rd through the 5th. And check out our YPN Top Producer panel that's going to be on 2/24. Register for all of those events and classes at icaar.org. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.